Hello, I'm Barry John, and welcome back to Let's Play Overload. I have 3 co-pilots, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
I am A172.
Hey, this is Crazy Ahmed.
And it's just Laylight.
Welcome back, guys, and we are now at Skoll of the Moon. Please note the timestamp in the upper right-hand corner. It is several in-game days later.
Against Juno Offworld.
That's right, we're in the year 21XX instead of 20XX.
I have received a transmission.
No, 20XX is a different game entirely.
Impaired.
Oh, was that the Mega Man clone roguelike kind of thing?
Yes.
Indeed.
Aha. Yeah, I remember seeing quite a detailed Let's Play of that, and honestly it looked pretty cool, but the only thing that turned me off is it used that weird, pin-jointed animation system where everything's just, wheeling around in a perfect arc.
Yeah, it's just, rotated, flatly, like one of those old Flash animations. I could understand that.
The Kraken class is secure.
There's a lot of, detailed bits in that game, though. Art-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Its presence here is a departure from standard operating procedure.
But we're being warned that there is a new enemy in this game. Move the mouse off.
You mean, are we finally going to have Missile Hulks?
Wait, I can't remember when the Missile Hulks show up.
Well, that said quad impulse cannon, so I guess it's just the equivalent of the Light Hulks. I guess they're just going to fire a large volley of lasers at us.
Yeah. So I've upgraded my armor toughness, which means that I'm taking 20% less damage from weapon impacts.
that seems pretty important.
Legit.
Yeah.
It probably costs a lot of points. I wasn't paying that much attention, but that does seem pretty darn important compared to everything else. Because Descent is largely a game of attrition, really.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not going to help you, with those kill N enemies in 30 minutes kinds of deals. Maybe you can play a little bit more aggressive with that, but it doesn't directly increase your DPS.
No.
Attention. 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 This is an automated emergency broadcast.
So this is the driller in action.
Cronus Frontier.
Yes, we're the Class 1 driller now.
Yeah.
Oh, how the tables have been turned.
Except we don't have a cloaking device on, so, we can't fully be the Class 1 driller in all of its glory. But
I am not going to try and make a high-pitched scream into the mic, by the way.
Fair enough. But no, the driller is a centerline kinetic weapon. It has its own little ammo counter at the bottom below the energy line. And it's a semi-automatic, so don't expect it to be... don't expect to be able to... Basically, you're seeing its fastest fire rate here.
Seems to have a decent punch for each hit, though, so that's still decent.
Yeah, it's basically the Gauss rifle without the explosions.
Semi-automatic as in one shot per click?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so this is also the RSI weapon if you lean on it too much then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's still, it has the center line fire rate, it's got the, fast projectile speed. I guess it's the closest thing to a hit scan weapon we have in this game.
Yeah.
I'll have to see some better angles here to get an idea of how much knockback it gives, but it seems to be doing a decent job at that. Hello.
Oof.
That's a classic, just hiding down his little cubbyhole waiting for you to go around the corner.
Yeah, nothing like the surprise hug bot.
I would have missed that secret. That's well hidden.
Oh, trust me, I do miss a log in this run through the level, so I've actually attached it at the end of the level after I've completed it. And that's that's the next weapon we've got there.
Oh, that's a classic design tenet right there. Put something nice behind a grate and have a secret door, and the secret is there somewhere. You just have to use your visual reasoning skills to find where the secret door is on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and your mapping skills to figure out, all right, could be this way, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great way of having a secret, is just, it's there, you just have to figure out how to get to it.
Absolutely. I always feel like they're the hardest ones to find, too. And maybe it's just because you actually spend time looking for it as opposed to, is this a secret? Yes, it was. Excellent. And, it's a different time investment of 2 seconds. Was it yes, no, done, versus I'm going to hunt this down?
Yeah, that's a nice way of introducing like a nice little optional goal into the level. That doesn't take too long.
This level geometry is solid. I know we've mentioned it before, but it is very classic Descent-esque, and that's a good thing.
It helps that, it's not endless cubes, but there's actual visual language to the level.
Nice clean edges, and this bridge is pretty distinctive. Like, this is a distinctive room.
But get this, it's medium-sized? Like, there's enough room to be able to dodge around, there's a bit of cover, but it's still quite classic close quarters Descent knife fighting.
So there's a switch.
Oh, right, that's a switch.
Yeah, I hit the switch by accident. Also, yeah, it's a lot of guys. In fact, there's an enemy spotter down there. Actually, there's 2 of them.
Oh, dang.
Fantastic.
Well, we know what to do about that.
Yes.
Oh, you can blow them up in this game? I am so down with that.
Yep.
Getting some good use out of that increased fire rate for letting that thing go.
Well, actually, the upgrade I purchased for it was increased range. The fire rate on it is yet another reason why I like this gun more than the other ones, is because, once I get the range upgrade, it's such a good brawler.
So how are they defining range in this game, right? Because in classic Descent, you basically had infinite range. It just went until it hit something. So what does range mean here?
It's basically, its range is really like, the shots will peter out after a while. They won't hit very long distance weapon ranges unless you have a long distance weapon.
Gotcha.
So like the driller is a long distance weapon. Like I can point at something effectively at the other end of the map and expect to hit it. But whereas this guy, I'm not certain I can hit the other, I can hit the other end of that room there, but like I can't use this weapon.
Possibly only because you have that upgrade.
Yeah, but I've got this weapon. It's like a case of, oh wait, speaking of weapons, the reflex cannon. So I would like to introduce you guys to the plasma gun of the game.
Oh man, I feel like every weapon I've looked at, I've gone, is that the plasma gun? And then I was like, oh no, that's just what we already have, or something like that.
Oh, nice. It looks like the rebounding shots don't hurt you.
They do actually, but they have minimum damage, not like full damage. So basically,
Gotcha.
This is the plasma gun combined with the Phoenix cannon of Descent 2 with the rebounding shots.
Right.
Now I'm gonna.
Yeah, that
And it
fire
seems
rate looks
like-
okay. Like, it's not amazing, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. One of the things I want to spoil about this gun is that one of the upgrades for it is essentially the bounces start seeking. Like they won't just bounce kinetically or on an angle. The bounces will actually aim themselves at enemies.
So they turn into little smart missile bomblets, sort of.
It's them going, instead of just calculating instead of calculating the actual angle reflection angle, if it bounces, it's going to go looking for the nearest enemy inside a cone and try going for that.
It'll fudge it a little bit. It'll turn a little, but it's not going to directly aim like 90 degrees off of a wall and head right towards an enemy.
Yeah.
It'll fudge it a little bit to make it a little bit more likely it'll bounce into a nearby enemy, if otherwise it would have missed it.
Yeah. I mean, although to be fair, it doesn't have the same visceral oomph that the plasma gun has, so that's why I tend to not use it as much.
Yeah, there's just something magical about that old sound effect for firing it off. Probably nostalgia speaking, but, it was a nice, it made, what am I trying to grasp at here? It was a loud sound, I guess is what I'm getting at. You could tell what the beginning and the end of each individual round was. Here, each individual shot kind of blends together with the next one, is I guess what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite tell. Was it actually alternating sides on you really fast, or was it
No,
firing both sides synchronously?
It's both sides synchronously.
Okay.
Yeah, a pair on the left and right, and then a pair on the left and right.
Okay, because it almost looked like it was doing left, right, pause, left, right, pause. But that might have just been my eyes playing tricks on me, so... It does seem like that they've taken some of the weapons that just almost worked from previous games, like the Phoenix Cannon or like the Mass Driver, for example, with the Driller, and just tweaked it and made it to a way that really works for the game. That's satisfying.
That is certainly one way of looking at it.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of like love and care in this. A whole lot of attention to detail. People who developed this really thinking, does this work?
Swore I'd follow that bastard to the edge of the universe. That's exactly what I did.
Oh, door's locked. I'll need to unlock that. Ow, ow, ow.
Oh.
Please note it was the enemy shot that opened up that secret door, not my shot.
Was there a switch in there too?
Yeah, I had to hit that's the red button.
Yeah,
Okay.
wait, so just to recap, did that enemy just come out of a secret passage and ambush you right through the floor?
Sort of. I mean, I popped my nose down there in a moment, I think.
To accept. We're simply too far away from the...
Oh, so
And
you
was that-
opened it, but you didn't go in there, but the enemy that was in there already saw you and was angered. So when it closed, then the enemy knew that you were there and went through the door and then fired at you.
Effectively, yeah, unlike other descents, the enemies are more liable to go through doors.
I did have that thought of like, that wasn't very Descent-like of you to come up here after us.
But you
So was it the switch in this secret area that unlocked that door?
Yes.
Where the hostages were? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so far the gameplay does seem to be pretty similar to the old Descents in that you don't really have these roving squads of enemies that kind of go into a room while you're already fighting. Usually, if an enemy is attacking you, it's because it saw you. We'll see if the game kind of plays with that tenet later, but so far it does seem to be sticking with that rule for the early game and letting you kind of take things at your own pace, which is still good for this early game kind of fighting.
Yeah, there's no thief bot wandering around.
Yes.
Oh, shield detected. Object cannot be destroyed. So,
Oh, sweet.
in this optional room that I don't have to go into at all, there is a shielded spawner. And in order to drop the shield, I have to hit that switch.
So if it's optional, what incentive is there to go in there?
Practice and learning. It gives you a chance to hit this room on your own pace in order to learn how to handle a shielded object like that.
So there's no real good reason to go in there unless you just want 100% kills.
I think there's there's a upgrade point in there.
Oh, well, in that case, that's its own reward then. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
I was going to say, probably, if it's your first playthrough, you may not know you don't need to go in there.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you do need to go in there then, because you want all the upgrade points, don't you?
Yeah. Ow. Also, learning when the enemy enters its death animation rather than, it's still fighting, just being knocked around animation. Oh, there we go. Extra driller, just in case you didn't pick the one up in the previous level.
It's good to know that the series tradition of taking weapons that you already have and then sending them through the metal shredder and turning them into ammo is still alive and well.
Yep.
Director of Titan Collider. Next time, kick to the outer moons.
The audio log seems like a good thing as well.
They're not long. That's the important part. When you pick them up, they're just 1 or 2 sentences, and that's it. There we go.
Yeah, and the voice acting is somewhat improved from Descent 3.
Strange. He wants a Kraken security detail. Yeah, let's go. Who's going to attack Skoll? There's nobody out
Was it picking up the power-up that triggered them
Yeah.
coming out at you?
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty standard trick. It's good that you have like a higher rate of fire weapon to handle situations like that. Presumably the game will give you even better options later on, but right now you're just kind of limited to firing that thing full auto and maybe your missiles and hoping that things in front of you die.
You may have seen the plasma gun here, how it evaporated halfway past me because it bounced around and then ran out of range. So you were talking about range earlier. That's an example of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you would definitely want higher range on bouncing shots like this just so that they survive for longer and find an enemy to hit.
And you can see there, like, the shots were trying to hit this guy, but they didn't have the range on him. And I'm also looking at my setup here, like, oh yeah, I'm running low on power, so I'd better recharge.
Oh, was that you using an afterburner just then?
Yes.
That was not a very loud sound, but it sounded like an afterburner.
The afterburner is a lot more... Wait a second. I think you're right, it is alternating fire.
I thought so. I was like, I think it. Like, the more I look at this, I think it is alternating back and forth.
Is that left filled in diamond? Is that the missile or is that the plasma gun?
I think it's the missile. I think the angled ones below that are your plasma/reflex. But
yeah, that was definitely plasma because now it's now you got the driller marks there.
Yeah.
And I think a single shot does fire both of them, just not at the same time.
They're stagger fired.
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh, actually, you want to know what the real huge quality of life improvement in this game over all previous descents that you might have noticed?
Do tell.
If you get close to a door and you don't shoot it to open it up, the door will automatically open up for you.
Oh, it's
Oh, nice.
about time.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, so you
Previously, you had to bump into them to open them.
The idea, like, what's happening is that instead of, like, running the risk of doing collision damage, the doors will automatically open up, and they will account for your speed when they open up.
Nice.
So you don't even have to slow down to go through the doors?
No.
Or just not as much?
Not as much.
I think that's great, because I had always felt, like, especially when you're running low on energy and ammo, it's just like, I don't want to waste this to open a door. But at the same time, like, just running into a door to get through it in descent was always a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And it always
momentary pause.
broke your momentum, too.
You know?
Yeah.
So, let me introduce the lockdown room, one of the new things in this game. These are rooms with plenty of goodies. However, as you may have noticed, I just saved there. What's going to happen is I'm going to go grab the super upgrade point behind me here. And that's going to trigger the lockdown, which means I can't leave this room until I've killed all 10 enemies. Or I've killed...
the kill room.
Yeah. However, the power-up is in overdrive, so I have infinite ammo, basically.
Oh, fantastic.
All right, so it's like a miniature version of those of that secret mission you did a while back.
But it's stacked a lot more in my favor. Because I can handle it in my time, or I can handle it on my pacing, and there's a lot fewer enemies to deal with.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you get infinite missiles, but that you still infinite primary weapon is pretty good.
Yeah, of course, it only lasts for 30 seconds. So
is it always 10 baddies, or is it
later,
does it vary?
Later ones have more, but once you've completed a lockdown, once I find it, it opens up secret doors that you can collect more goodies out of. There, this guy.
Fantastic.
So there's another
That's a
upgrade
nice little
point.
set piece.
Yeah.
Do they drop all 10 baddies in at once, or do they spawn them in piecemeal?
They teleport in piecemeal. You may have noticed you can actually see them teleporting in at one point.
That's a bit of a mercy.
Yeah, they're still easing you in. They're being a little bit tougher with the setups, but they're still trying to not kill you outright quite yet.
That would have, that room would have been really tight with 10 in there at once.
I have found a message from Cantor sent to James Lynch, director of Outpost development. He was on site to oversee upgrades to the facility.
Jim, I want to make it clear to you that no one is to communicate with Juno off-world. Any message in or out goes directly through me.
Didn't we already get that message?
No, this is a plot message. It's set to a flag by opening up that door, or going through that door. It's not a log.
It's very similar to something he said before then.
Yeah, but it guarantees that you know what this is, rather than, assuming the worst.
Gotcha.
The arguments haven't changed. We're too far from the belt. The numbers don't add up. The P&L, the ROI. What's killing us is not a lack of profit, but a failure of imagination. I need to be able to count on you, Jim. We've had our differences, I know. But if I can't trust you, I can't trust anyone.
The message.
This Cantor is certainly sounding a little bit conflicted.
Well, what I'm getting from it is, remember, Jim, we're the bad guys. We need to research more killer robots and exploit our employees.
And for those of you paying attention at home, yes, I did basically chain ram that one enemy to death.
Gotta use that afterburner for something.
Of course, now it's only left me with 36 armor now. So you see those little red, little semicircles, not semicircles, little red highlights
Arcs.
beside the aiming reticle. That is that is your low armor warning, closer to the center of your view, rather than the one below with the armor belt.
Oh, and it
Okay,
gets
that's
smaller
nice
as your
and,
armor goes higher, too.
Yeah, it's a reminder, but it's unobtrusive.
I like it. You can't forget, hey, you only have 36 or 47 health left. So I'm guessing if it's below 50, it's adding it there based on how much is left and that you're at 47 now.
Yeah, and that is our exit.
You're gonna have to
So
collect
last
some more
time-
blue number
Yeah,
to
go
make
ahead.
that red number go away.
Yeah, you were saying?
I don't remember if I said this last time, but I thought it was an interesting mechanic that last time there seemed to be like an interior exit door that was that shortcut back to the true exit, but it was still labeled in a very similar, same manner. So I think we did talk about that last time.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, I was running for the exit at that time, so we might not have spoken about it a lot.
Right?
Also, I love the dynamic lighting in these levels. Just,
Well, I mean, gray is a good color for different colored lighting to show up against.
yeah.
It might be the same cave texture as in the last level, but they seem to be doing a little bit something different with these tunnels this time.
This is a game that would look really good with some ray tracing.
It came out
I wonder what's down there at the other end.
there's a couple of spawner... I don't think there's an actual... There might be a spawner down there, but... Actually, come on, where am I? There we go.
These are the questions we have to ask ourselves every day. Where am I? What am I doing here?
And how do I avoid the melee enemies? Yeah, there are spawners in there, but...
It's a testament to modern civilization how well we can avoid melee enemies in our day-to-day existence.
But these are
Depends how congested the subway is where you live.
Yeah, but those are shielded spawners, and I don't think I believe these ones don't actually have an off switch, just to because you may have noticed the reactors don't fire back at you. So
That seems to make sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what you got are infinite spawners that can't be turned off. Of course, I just abuse the fact that I can hit this guy from range.
Yeah, reasonable. It's a nice little quality of life feature that you actually even can see the reactor health.
Yeah. And time to leave. And I'll be cutting into that last log in just a moment. After, the ending. The glorious escape.
Oh, they made a new one for this level. Good.
Oh no! Look at the bottom. It's got my gun attached to it.
Oh, nice.
It's
So
an
it's
engine?
not just a...
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So we're 111 hours to the next level. So, back in this room, we were talking about and there's the thing you have to hit. You hit that. There's a power-up back there that I go collect in a couple of moments, just to show you what I'm doing.
Yeah, so there's that roof passage there. Now I can see that on the map. Okay.
I wish I knew what's happening on Titan. Whatever projects they're working on now.
But I've mentioned that the last log in each level usually contains a plot twist.
Hold of the teleport.
And that's it. Cantor developed the teleporter that we're using.